hello, fellow entrepreneurs. Welcome. Today, I want to kind of walk you through a completely different topic and different thing that we've been discussing for the past few weeks. And I wanted to kind of talk to you on a kind of like a friendlier chat conversation. If you have your coffee, let's have a quick chat. And I want to talk to you about who I am, why, and I'm so appreciative for you listening to me. And I don't think I ever shared, and I don't like sharing about my life much and all of that. So I was thinking to just do a quick video and share it with you, what I'm all about, what is all this, who's this woman, why should I even listen to her? So today I'm going to try to do this in a way that it's very uncomfortable for me. And I want to be very honest. And I'm just gonna start with what I can start. So, I like to think about my past, at least from the moment I came to the United States over 20 years ago, as a girl with a suitcase, and that has been the story of my life when I arrived in the United States. I was literally just a girl arriving in New York, in New York City, right, and with a suitcase and $400 in my pocket, and trying to make a life, trying to make things happen in a land where language was hard to speak. English was my third language that I spoke. I spoke Romanian first, as I was born in Romania. I spoke French and then English. But all of that aside, if I would have to pinpoint a time where I knew I was an entrepreneur, or that could have given me the first hint that this girl likes business, is when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. I was in this camp at the beach, a couple of days away, by train from my parents. And I really wanted to get my ice cream before I left. And we had to go by train. And literally in the train station, I sold one of my stuff. Like I had some belongings. I think I had a blanket. I sold the blanket at the train station to buy myself a goodbye ice cream before I would go home. So that was probably the absolute beginning phase of me being an entrepreneur. But fast forward, I was always mesmerized by the paperwork, by the deed, by the records, how you buy a house, how you sell. I would read those documents. Listen, no one reads the documents. I would be obsessed with reading all these documents and find out where is a way. Why would you do this? Why would you pay this? And when I was in high school, my dad was a serial entrepreneur, and he lost everything. And we barely was able to keep the house we lived in. But that was the moment for me when I realized that really you have to be so careful. You have to, no matter how big you get, you cannot forgo the due diligence and, kind of checking all the boxes, dotting all the I's, and all the things that you need to do to make sure that you protect your business and you make sure you protect what's yours and your family's. So it created this hunger to go and do as much as possible with the small businesses. So my whole life I work with the small businesses. And, this is really where I'm taking the journey that I had. I've represented small business owners for, more than 3,000 cases that I've done. And I really took the time to understand, why did you get to the point that you got audited? What got you audited? Why did you not know these before? And to come out to the conclusion that the two basic pieces that people were missing is understanding how the financials work if you own a business, and how you expose yourself to the IRS by doing some things that just don't make any sense from their perspective. So combining all of this, I've become obsessed with learning tax strategies. I became obsessed in how can we help the small business owners have access to things that we used to believe only the multimillionaires have access to, only the big, large family management offices have access to. Now, what's small and what's big? So that's I'm gonna leave that conversation. So that was the story of my life. If I could just learn continuously, I think it's my happy place to learn. And one of the things that absolutely changed me in the last couple of months, I read this book by Ed Milet, and I love reading different types of books, but this book, what really prompted me to think a little bit more and a little bit further into what I'm doing and what do I want to leave as a legacy, and the company, the clients that we work with, my family, my kids, right? And the book from Ed Milet wrote was named The Power of One More. And it's just the idea that every time we do something, it feels like this enormous effort that we have to put in, like tax planning, a tax return, financials, books, net worth, getting a million, getting an extra million, getting 100,000, getting an extra 100,000. So I learned to think of things as just doing one more, not necessarily focused on like, I need to know where I'm trying to get. And once I figure out my road, I'm just going to focus on the power of one more. So that has absolutely changed my perspective and my anxiety level about how fast do we need to go? How fast do we need to grow? How much do we need to do today? How much needs to be done in 2023? The taxes are going up, everything. So it creates this anxiety for us as entrepreneurs that sometimes, it's not worth it. So just focusing on the road and just doing one more, right? One more tax strategy, one more meeting closer, one more spreadsheet closer, one more thing that will get us to where we need to be. And I know many of you would disagree with me and would say, no, we just need to get it all done. And I used to believe everything needs to be done right now. And sometimes that works, and sometimes we have to recognize that creates chaos because we still have our lives. And what I want to say is that it's not all about business. Like for me, my family is really important. I have 3 kids and my husband, and we love spending time with the kids. And I don't want the kids to remember that the business was all that was in our lives when they were younger. My oldest kid is 11 years old, and my youngest is 5. And I don't want to have a memory that, we were not there. So sometimes doing one more thing that gets us closer to where we want to be is the best thing that we could do. And it creates the most steady course of winning the game. So what am I doing here? I'm trying to be vulnerable. I'm trying to tell you a little bit about, where I come from, right? And being raised in a communist country really I feel like it gave me a resilience to really not only do one more, but no matter what happens, get up and still go, dream, pursue, and don't stop just because someone says this doesn't work or this is not the way. Really be inquisitive. And I encourage you to, just do one more. And if you just do one more thing today, that would get you closer. So for example, how your tax return is, or that you should reach to an attorney, you should reach to a tax strategist, just take that one step, just one step forward. And I would love to know, how does that affect you and your life? So I would love to hear your story. Why is business important to you? For me, it's important because I want to leave a legacy to my kids. I don't want them to grow up with the mentality as being and seeking for a job, or I don't find anything wrong with looking for a job. I want to raise people who can create a job and create jobs, and that's really my focus. And I want to leave this legacy for my family. And the same way, we want to encourage, and all the clients that we work, a majority of them are families, and we want to encourage each family to do the same with their kids. So I would love to know, why is business important to you? How do you see the power of one more working in your life? And let me know. I would really love to connect with you and find out, what do you think? How does that work for you? And do you have any tips and secrets, a power of one more, anything that has created tremendous impact for you in your business, in your life, in your family? Until I hear and we talk next time, all the best. And I absolutely appreciate you. And thank you for being with me on this journey. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.